Today we're talking about reversing chronic kidney disease with a plant-based diet. Does it work and how to do it? Stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching today. Everything we talk about is just information. This is not medical advice. I'm Dr. Blake Schusterman. I'm a board-certified kidney doctor and author of the Cooking Doc's Kidney Healthy Cooking, a modern 10-step guide to preventing and managing kidney disease. I'm glad you're joining us today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share so you never miss a new recipe or a new health tip. Today we've got a really fun topic. This is a longer video, so make sure you stay tuned to the end to listen to all of the good things that we're going to talk about, especially if you want to do everything you can to help protect your kidneys. I'm going to start with 3 different stories of people that I've known with chronic kidney disease. Then we're going to go through some of the reasons why a plant-based diet can help you if you have chronic kidney disease. And then I'm going to finish with some real practical suggestions about how to incorporate more of a plant-based diet into your daily regimen. So a plant-based diet has many qualities that may help people with chronic kidney disease. First, I'm going to tell you about Mr. H. Mr. H was a patient of mine from about 10 years ago. And Mr. H saw me with stage 3B chronic kidney disease from diabetes and high blood pressure. His GFR was in the low 30s and he had a little bit of protein in his urine called albuminuria. When he saw me, his blood pressure was uncontrolled and his diabetes was not where he wanted it to be as well. So I saw him, we talked about chronic kidney disease, and then he was gone. He never came back. Well, he came back, but it was like 4 or 5 years later. And when he came back, his kidney function really hadn't changed. It was actually just a tiny bit better than when I saw him 4 or 5 years ago. And given all the risk factors he had had previously, that was a little surprising. So I asked him what he was doing. He said, "Doc, I got off the hog and everything's been better since then." And I didn't know exactly what he meant, but he explained that he stopped eating pork. And when he stopped eating pork, he stopped eating a lot of the things, the animal foods that were unhealthy for him, from the pork rinds to the barbecue, to the things that come with barbecue, like really high sodium foods or fatty foods. And so he adjusted his diet so it wasn't centered around the animal protein, the pork that he used to eat. And when he did that, he incorporated much more fruits and vegetables and low sodium foods and low sugar foods, and totally transformed his health so that his diabetes was controlled, his blood pressure was controlled, and he maintained stable kidney function over those 5 years by eating more of a plant-based diet, just by saying he was cutting out the hog. Next person we're talking about is a woman with stage 4 chronic kidney disease. She had a typical Southern diet, old school Southern diet, mainly focused around meat. So she would have meat with every meal of the day. And when she heard about her kidney disease, she decided she would go full force plant-based, totally vegan. And with that change in her diet, going from animal-based protein diet to totally vegan, she was able to improve her kidney function. So her kidney function went from stage 4 to stage 3B, and her protein in her urine went way down. She went from eating 3 servings of meat a day to no meat at all. And with that, she noticed an improvement in her kidney function. She felt much better, and the protein in her urine went low as well. Lastly, I'm going to tell you about a woman in her 40s who came to see me with stage 3B kidney disease as well. And that kidney disease had gotten worse over the course of the last year. And what she had done, it was really interesting, is she had gone from kind of a Mediterranean diet to a carnivore diet. Not quite a carnivore diet where it's just all meat all the time, but it was a really heavy animal protein diet. And when she did that, she noticed her filtration rate declined. The protein in her urine went up. Both signs of worsening kidney function. So she noticed that. She noticed that when she changed her diet, things got worse. And so she went back on the Mediterranean diet that she was on before and saw that her kidney function kind of went back to where it was previously. And the protein in her urine went down. So that's 3 stories about how a plant-based diet helps some of the people that I see in the office every day. Now I tell you that, but those are what we call anecdotal stories. So I see people in the office every day that don't change to a plant-based diet and their kidney function gets a little bit better. I also see people in the office every day who started eating a little more meat and their kidney function didn't get worse. So there are a lot of factors involved that can make your kidney function get better or worse on a day-to-day basis. It can be involved in the type of kidney disease and your medicines. All kinds of things can impact the filtration rate. Diet is just one of them. But there are a lot of things about a plant-based diet that I think are beneficial to kidney disease. And this is not anecdotal evidence, but this is evidence that we see in the scientific journals written on this topic. Now, what you won't see if you go more to a plant-based diet is a complete reversal of kidney disease. Anybody who's selling you that is probably a snake oil salesman and trying to get you to do something that is unproven. Chronic kidney disease means that damage has been going on for a number of months and sometimes years and years. And when that happens, there is irreversible damage to the kidneys that cannot be reversed with a plant-based diet. Nevertheless, incorporating plant-based eating patterns into your health can help. Now, if you don't know what a plant-based diet is, don't feel bad, because really there's no exact definition of a plant-based diet. How I define a plant-based diet is a diet that is focused on fruits and vegetables and legumes and nuts and seeds, and not focused as much on animal protein. Now, it doesn't have to be a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet, but things like the Mediterranean diet can be a plant-based diet. The DASH diet can be a plant-based diet. There are all these diets that are not necessarily just vegan, but that are plant-based. And when you eat a plant-based diet, you tend to get rid of some of the things that can be deleterious to your health other than animal protein. So you may get rid of sugars and processed foods when you go to a plant-based diet. So lots of ways it can help. We're also talking about a plant-based diet that's not like French fries and candy bars and ice cream and macaroni and cheese, okay? Sure, that's a plant-based diet for all intents and purposes, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a diet that not only is focused on plants, but also gets rid of some of the other processed stuff and is more focused on the fresher areas of a plant-based diet, not these other things that don't have animal protein but are not healthy for you. Now let's get back to the kidneys a little bit. So the key to a plant-based diet, or a diet that helps your kidneys, is to find one that will keep your GFR, or give your GFR, your filtration rate, the best chance of staying stable or getting better, or that will keep your creatinine from going higher, or at least give your kidneys the best chance to maintain stable kidney function for the long run. Now, there are a lot of studies on diets, but here are some of the reasons why a plant-based diet may be good for your kidneys. Number one, plant-based proteins seem to put less stress on the kidneys than animal proteins. When excess animal proteins are eaten, they're broken down into amino acids, and those amino acids kind of get into your body and they trigger a flood of hormones just to help your body digest the proteins and turn those proteins into usable structures in your body. Now, what we think happens is if you eat too much animal protein and get that flood of hormones, that flood of hormones goes to the kidneys and actually causes the kidneys to go into a hyperfiltration overdrive. So they start extra filtering because of those extra animal proteins. And when things are extra filtering, you get this whole cascade of events that leads to scarring. And that scarring is what leads the kidneys to not work as well in the long run. So the theories in experimental models is that more animal protein leads to more hormones, leads to overfiltering of the kidneys, and that leads to scarring and worsening of chronic kidney disease. Do we know all the answers? Am I sure about this? No, but that's where the experimental models are leading. Number two, when converting to a plant-based diet, you not only get rid of some of the things that may hurt your kidneys, like these processed foods and these high sugar foods that are not part of a healthy plant-based diet, but also you add things like high fiber foods, greens, nuts, seeds, all the things that are high fiber and high in things like magnesium and antioxidants, which produce a beneficial effect all over your body. So, twofold. Get rid of the bad things, add good things, leads to better kidneys. Number three, when done correctly, a whole food plant-based diet can help you manage diabetes, obesity, and high blood pressure. Those are three huge risk factors for developing chronic kidney disease. And the better you can control those three things, the less risk you have for your kidneys in the long run. Number four, if you already have chronic kidney disease, eating a whole food plant-based diet may lower the risk of some complications of kidney disease. So plant-based foods tend to have lower absorbable phosphorus. So if you're worried about high phosphorus levels, a plant-based diet won't give you as many absorbable phosphorus foods like you would get if you were eating a lot of processed foods or meats. It also may better help manage your acid-base status in your body, leaving your kidneys to not work as hard to keep things balanced. And finally, a plant-based diet may not produce as many what we call uremic toxins, or toxins that can build up when you're in kidney failure that can lead to feeling bad, something we call uremia, which is the end product of kidney failure. People with uremia feel terrible, and that's often when we have to do things like start dialysis. Number 5, and this one is general, so I'm putting it in the middle, but a whole food plant-based diet may lower the rate at which your GFR declines and help your creatinine stay stable. That's the most important thing, or one of the most important things when we're looking at how a diet impacts your kidney health. Now, before we get to the rest of the things, let me jump in and say this is not specific advice for individuals. This is kind of generic advice. Every single person, every single one of you watching has your own likes and dislikes about food, has your own personal situation, has your own other set of medical problems and dietary restrictions that you have to deal with, money, time, all that stuff plays into what diet is going to work best for you. So if you can talk to a dietitian to help you kind of figure out how to incorporate these things or what's going to work best for you, that's the way I would start. Number 6, eating a whole food plant-based diet often gets you less processed food. And less processed food, we know, especially less ultra-processed food, we know is associated with better health outcomes. The problem is that sometimes the vegan food now is just as processed as the other food. So things like Beyond Meat or Impossible Meat, yeah, totally vegan, but also highly processed and has higher sodium in it. Now, is it better to eat Beyond Beef than regular beef because of the stress on the kidneys? Probably. But staying more on things that are non-processed like nuts and seeds and grains and lentils and all that stuff is probably going to give you a better health benefit than focusing on things like Impossible Meat or Beyond Burgers. Number 7, a whole food plant-based diet can lead you down the path towards other healthy eating patterns. So, you're getting rid of some of the red meat, which may put you at risk for things like colon cancer and may help keep your cholesterol better. You may be able to manage your diabetes better by eating a plant-based diet. So there are other benefits of a plant-based diet, not just on the kidneys. And really, it makes you just focus on what you're eating. You're paying attention to what you put in your body, which is a key to maintaining a healthy diet and maintaining long-term health for all the systems, not just the kidneys, but the brain, the gut, the lungs, the heart, all that stuff. Number 8, a whole food plant-based diet is a higher alkaline diet. Now, when I first learned about the alkaline versus acid diet, I thought it was nonsense. But it turns out that there may be something to it. So foods that are more alkaline, more basic, rather than more acidic, may put less stress on the kidneys. And the kidneys don't have to work as hard to keep the acid and base levels stable in your body. Now, when I talk about alkaline and acid foods, I'm not talking about lemons and tomatoes as being acid foods. I'm talking about things like highly processed cheeses and meats. So when you eat those things, they make the kidneys work a little harder to keep what's called homeostasis, to keep the electrolytes balanced, the water balanced, the salt balanced. That's really what the kidneys do. And you want to eat things that make the kidneys, be able to do that without working too hard. Lastly, believe it or not, but a whole food plant-based diet and foods that are high in potassium may not put everyone at risk for developing high potassium in their blood. That's kind of controversial, but there are some recent studies that suggest that even eating more potassium foods, now I'm not talking about eating 10 bananas in a day, okay? I'm talking about eating more potassium foods like scattered throughout the day with beans and nuts and things like that may not put everyone at risk for high potassium levels. And that's because that potassium in those things often isn't easily as absorbable as other forms of potassium. Those foods are also higher in fiber, so that you may be eating higher potassium foods, but your gut is working better to get rid of them through your stool, okay? So we're still learning exactly how high potassium foods impact the potassium in your blood. Oftentimes, high potassium in your blood can be caused by other things than what you eat in your diet, such as medicines or glucose level or acid-base status. Okay, that should convince you, right? A whole food plant-based diet, a Mediterranean diet, a DASH diet, something that's focused really around plants rather than animal protein and processed foods can help your kidneys. So now that you're convinced, I'm going to tell you a few quick ways that you can start doing this today, easy ways to start heading down a path towards eating better for your kidneys. The first thing I recommend to my patients when trying to eat a more plant-based diet is to limit animal protein to 1 meal a day. A lot of people eat meat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But if we start by limiting it to 1 meal, lunch, or dinner, or breakfast, obviously, That's a good way to get your body used to eating plants and get yourself used to cooking them and making a full meal without any meat. Number 2, when you're starting to eat a plant-based diet, instead of having big servings of meat, you could just cut it down. So don't have a 6-ounce steak, have a 3-ounce steak. Don't have a 6-ounce piece of salmon, have a 3-ounce piece of salmon. And fill in your plate with other things that are healthy. So cutting down just on the serving size may make a big difference in helping to get you started on a better and healthier diet. Number 3, this doesn't work for everybody. So make sure that you talk to your doctor and you have a plan with your family about how to incorporate plant-based foods into the things that you eat every day. Some people need more animal protein, like if you're older or if you have diabetes and trying to manage your sugars. I understand that. So talk to your doctor or a dietitian that can really help you determine if this is for you. Number 4, you make vegetables the star of your plate. So if you want to have a piece of chicken and you use that 3-ounce piece of chicken, don't have it as the main thing. You have a salad and you have some potatoes. And then the chicken is just kind of a side thing to get you a little bit of extra protein and help fill you up, but that's not the star. You don't make the dish around the animal protein. Number 5, cheat if you want, but only occasionally. An occasional steak or burger is not going to be the difference between healthy and unhealthy. In the long run, enjoy yourself. You don't have to give up your animal protein altogether. Number 6, replace some of the meat in your recipe with beans or mushrooms. So if you're making a bolognese, instead of using all red meat, use half red meat or half ground chicken, and the rest you substitute with mushrooms or beans or lentils. Something to give you a little bit of that flavor and texture, but it's not animal protein. Lastly, be easy with yourself. There's nothing easy about changing your diet. There's nothing easy about going from a high animal protein diet to a whole food plant-based diet. You have to change your taste buds. You have to change your shopping habits. You have to change your cooking habits. You have to change the way you feel sometimes after you eat. You are starting to make changes that will benefit you in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So you'll have setbacks. There'll be things that you have to relearn, and that's okay. Just go easy with yourself as you're trying to make these changes. So thanks so much for watching today. I hope I've convinced you to move more towards a whole food plant-based diet, whether it's the Mediterranean diet or the DASH diet, something that's not so focused around animal proteins. I'm Dr. Blake Schusterman. I'm a board-certified kidney doctor, and I'm also the cooking doc. Check out my website, cookingdoc.com, for lots of recipes. Check out my book, The Cooking Doc's Kidney Healthy Cooking, a Modern 10-Step Guide to Preventing and Managing Kidney Disease. Thanks so much for watching today, and we will see you next time.